Welcome back everyone to another Day Zero build for Attack on Titan Origins of Power. Today we've got Sasha Braun's Food Fanatic, the character I was lucky enough to show off during preview season. Thank you again to UVS Games. Sasha is honestly a character after my own heart. She loves to eat. I love to eat, which made me getting Sasha and all the food-related cards all the more hilarious, even though the UVS crew doesn't know me that well. It was just a happy accident that has now kind of become a bit of a meme. So let's dive into it. This is a Chaos deck with Life attuned because her symbols are Chaos and Life. She's a 6 hand size 30 health character. Survey Core is her trait. As an enhanced, she can commit, add one card with a difficulty of 1, exactly 1, from your stage to your momentum. Draw one card, but if you added an asset card to your momentum this way, draw 2 cards instead. So she's got draw on face. That's pretty cool. And then she has to commit, of course. And then she has a Tenacious Enhance, which means you can play it while she's committed. Discard one card. This attack is plus X speed or plus X damage. X equals your momentum. So she wants to stockpile her momentum a bunch to get all of these various different effects to stack up a whole bunch of speed and damage. She's not kind of a get it and use it kind of like Connie is, where you're not going to be stockpiling your momentum, you're going to be using it as you get it. She kind of wants to stockpile, kind of like Amajiki from Undaunted Raid, My Hero Academia Undaunted Raid. So let's dive in to Sasha and see what's on the menu. First off, we have Kenny's Surprise Attack. This is a 5/3, 6 mid for 4 with a 3 mid block and the ranged keyword. Blitz, add one card from your momentum to your hand. If you do, this attack gets plus 2 damage. So this is a really cool trick, because like I said, you're going to want to stockpile your momentum. However, there will be some cards that you can reuse in your momentum, or if you just want to reuse them as attacks, say... attacks. Yes, if you could pick up an attack to reuse it after you're stockpiling all this momentum, or... there's an asset that you'll be able to just cycle through a whole bunch as needed that we'll get to in a minute. But a 6 mid for 4 that became a 6 mid for 6, that's pretty good. Plus you can discard a card to give it X speed or X damage, X equals whatever's left of your momentum, to really guarantee that you push that speed to make sure that 6 damage hits. Or if you know that 6 speed is going to be good enough, you can push through even more damage. Next we have Sasha's Steady Shot, a 5/3, 2 mid for 6 with a 2 low block. This is her rare attack from the set. EX3, Powerful 2, and Weapon. So if you want a good use for your momentum, this is a good use for your momentum. And as a blitz, this attack gets plus 1 speed for each card with a printed difficulty of 1 in your stage. So if you throw this at the end of a string and you've got 6 momentum, you could play it, get a whole bunch of speed based on what's in your stage, discard a card to give it plus X speed or plus X damage, whichever you need more, and then you can either use Powerful or EX to guarantee that that massive dunk is going to hit. So it's really, really cool. I really like this card as a finisher and something you'd want to play later in a string when your rival maybe doesn't have as many resources up, and we'll see how we're able to do that later. Next we have Readied Shot, a 4/3, 3 high for 4 with a 2 high block, stun 1 and ranged. Blitz, add one card with a printed difficulty of 1 from your discard pile to your hand. Excuse me. So this is really cool because any of our momentum that we've discarded, or spent, I should say now, that were these 1 difficulty cards, we can just pick them right back up and play them again. Especially if they're assets, because then we could pick up the asset, and then if it goes into our momentum with Sasha, we eat for 2 cards. And then a response after this attack deals damage, gain 1 health for each card in your momentum. So we are already a 630, but we do have a couple of ways to gain health in this deck to make sure we last even longer, because you gotta eat a lot if you're keeping your stamina up. Next we have Falling Debris. This is a 5/3, 4 high for 6 with a 2 high block, breaker 1 and ranged. It has Blitz. This attack gets plus X speed and plus X damage. X equals your momentum. So this is speed and damage, and then Sasha can give it speed or damage, so this also can become a very terrifying card very quickly. And then Deadlock Blitz, if your rival has 11 or more foundations, when you play this card, you can Deadlock Blitz, add the top 2 cards of your deck to your momentum. So add 2 cards to your momentum, then get a bunch of stats, and then discard a card to get a bunch of stats. It is a ridiculous dunk card for Sasha. Next, we have Swarmed by Titans. This is a 5/3, 5 high for 5 with a 1 high block. Breaker 1, Deadlock, Stun 2, and Fury. Blitz, your next check this turn gets plus X. X equals your momentum plus 1. A lot of 1s going around here. So this is a great way to extend your string, maybe to finish off with Sasha's Steady Shot and turn that into a massive explosion, or a falling debris maybe. So you can play this as your second or third attack, and then really just throw a big dunk like a big falling debris, a big Sasha Steady Shot, or even a big Armor of the Ape. This is a 5/3, 4 mid for 5 with a 2 mid block and the slam keyword. If it goes to your momentum, it goes face up, and it has a momentum ability. Enhance while it's in your momentum face up. Your rival's attack gets -1 damage. Not a lot in the realm of Titans, but it could be enough to keep you alive a little bit longer. And enhance, this attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each of your momentum. So it gets X speed and X damage where X equals your momentum. So Armor of the Ape, Falling Debris, and Sasha's Steady Shot are your 3 massive dunk attacks, guaranteed to end games quickly when played correctly. Now on to our assets. We have Soup, another card I was able to show off, and Soup made a bigger splash than Sasha. I found that absolutely hilarious. Look at her licking her bowl there. It's a 1/5, 1 mid-block asset. As a static, it says after you play it, you get to build it. So if we've picked it up with Readied Shot or Kenny's Surprise Attack, we could play it immediately as our next form, and it immediately goes into our stage, so we don't have to worry about progressive difficulty. Enhance, Commit, your attack gets +1 damage, gain a health. So again, keeping our health up, keeping our stamina up, so we can keep on this fight. So we can commit Soup for 1 damage, gain a health. Commit Sasha, put Soup into our momentum, draw 2 cards, and then either pick Soup up with Kenny's Surprise Attack, or we can spend it for EX or Powerful over here with Sasha's Steady Shot, or some other ways that we have to spend momentum, and then pick it up with Readied Shot, and then just play it again, and then build it back again, and then gain a health again. So Soup is definitely going to be to keep up the food puns, the bread and butter of the deck. We also have Potato, a 1/5 with a 2 mid block. Enhance, in your card pool, gain 1 health and build this asset. So if we play it as a form and then play an attack after that, which would be tricky, we wouldn't want to do that unless we absolutely need to gain the health. Or, even more importantly, if we block with it and our rival plays another attack, we can enhance, gain a health, and then build this asset. And because we're putting so much damage on things, response, flip, after your rival plays a non-character ability that would reduce the damage of your attack, cancel it. So when we're throwing, +6, +7 damage on Falling Debris, Armor of the Ape, Sasha's Steady Shot, we don't want our rival to say, oh, cool, -4 damage, or return it back to printed damage. Well, I guess it would reduce. So we flip this and say they don't get to do that. Now, face-down foundations are treated as cost of 0, or difficulty of 0, so if we flip Potato, we cannot put it into our momentum. But if we have multiple potatoes out, because it is not a unique card, we could keep 1 up and put 1 in our momentum. Or if our rival's not doing any real damage reduction, we can just put potatoes into our momentum all the time. And what is Potato Soup without some nice Gold Tips Imperial Tea to go with it? A 1/5 with a 2 low block. Response, after you block with this card, build it committed. So it's a block that clears itself from progressive, much like Soup, much like Potato. So all of our assets have ways to build themselves outside of playing them as a form, which is really important. Granted, we still have to play them from our hand, but they will clear themselves given their circumstances, so we don't have to worry about that so much. And then response, after your end phase, if you did not deal damage this turn, but you played at least 1 attack, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So more stockpiling of momentum if, say, all we had was a Readied Shot, and our rival blocked it, or an Armor of the Ape, and our rival blocked it because we just drew bad, well, we get 1 momentum anyway, so that's pretty cool. And it's a nice 2 low block. And because everything's a 5 except for Ready Shot, why not throw in City Rampage? Because who doesn't rampage when they're hangry? I know I do. I have a bit of a reputation. This is a 5/5 +1 mid-block action that says while it is in your card pool, your attacks get +1 speed and +1 damage. So a little bit of stat boost there. And as a form, your checks to play attacks with a printed difficulty of 5 or greater get +2 for the rest of the turn, which helps late string falling debris or late string steady shots. So really, really good there, just to get +2 to the check to play all of your attacks, and then maybe a falling debris, and then your next attack's just going to be free, no matter how much momentum you have. On to foundations. We have Unsettling Eating Habits. POV, me at the buffet. This is a 1/5 with a 4 mid-block. Enhance, remove, add 1 card with a difficulty of 1 from your discard pile to your momentum. So we could put the soup in there, or the potato, or any of our 1 difficulty foundations. We just remove this for an extra momentum whenever we need it. We have Brief Respite, a 1/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance, sacrifice a foundation, gain 1 health. So again, keeping our health and our stamina up. And if we have something like a potato that we have flipped face down to cancel damage reduction, we could blow that up and then pick it up later with something like Readied Shot. Horrifying Realization is a fun one. It's a 1/5 with a 2 mid-block. Form, flip. Each player discards 1 card and draws 1 card. If your rival discarded a foundation this way, they have to commit 1 foundation, which means they're not blocking any of our really big attacks. We have Pilfered Provisions, a 1/5 with a 2 high block. Response, after you discard this card, like say for Sasha Braun's Tenacious Enhance, we get to gain a health and look at the top card of our deck. So we gain more health, and we get to see what our next check's going to be. Or potentially, if we have a way to draw that card, we can draw it. Monster Aggression, a 1/5 with a 2 low block. Enhance, destroy 1 foundation. Your attack with a printed difficulty of 5 or greater gets 1 speed and 1 damage. So stacking up like City Rampage, symmetrical stats like Falling Debris and Armor of the Ape, kind of just furthering that game plan of we want to make 1 big massive dunk at the end of our string. But we still want the string to kind of mean something. We want to put the pressure on our rival. Assessing All for One's Motive, a 1/5 with a 2 high block. Response, flip after a card leaves your momentum due to a rival effect. Add the top card of your deck to your momentum. You made me spend a momentum, I'm going to get 1 right back. We have Classmate Support, a 2/5 with a 3 mid block. Response, commit after you make a check. It gets +2 if your character is committed. Since we're committing our character on our turn, usually for the aggressive abilities of discarding cards from our hand for speed and damage, we can use Classmate Support defensively, since our character is committed, to gain a boost to our checks when we're checking to block. We have Averse to Water. Excuse me. A 1/5 with a 3 low block. Enhance, commit. This attack gets -2 speed, and if it has the life or water symbols, it gets -1 damage as well. So, bit of speed hate, bit of damage hate, and it's a 1 difficulty for Sasha's ability and a 3 low block. We have Fearsome Transformation, a 1/5 with a 3 high block. Enhance, flip, draw 1 card. If we have no momentum, discard a card. We're gonna have momentum. Always. Rescue Specialist, this is a fun one. A 1/4 with a 4 mid block. Enhance, if your character's committed, this attack gets +1 speed. So after we've committed Sasha, we can give damage with the discard a card for effect, and if we have like 2 or 3 of these, we can get a whole bunch of speed on top of that, giving those symmetrical stats, especially on symmetrical attacks like Falling Debris and Armor of the Ape. We're just increasing that load. We have Nice Try, a 2/5 with a 3 low block and the Taunt keyword. Enhance, commit. This attack gets -2 speed. Response, after your rival's combat phase begins, ready this foundation, playable while committed. It's just a really good card to be playing. All Worked Up, this is a 1/5 with a 2 high block. Response, after this card is discarded during the enhanced step, this attack gets +1 or -1 damage. So we can give it a little bit of extra damage with Sasha. And Enhance Destroy, your next check to play a card gets +1 playable while committed. So that's a really good offensive or defensive ability just by having this card in our stage. And lastly, Struggling with Studies, a 1/5 with a 3 low block. Enhanced Flip, if this is your rival's third or greater attack this combat phase, add a card from your card pool to your hand. And Response, before one of your foundations would be flipped due to a rival effect, flip this foundation instead. So really good defensive piece here. Now, let's do a sort by difficulty. Look at all them ones. Do you need all these ones? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. I'm sure we could cut down on some of the ones and use a few better 2s and 3s. But I think when I was building this, I kind of just leaned heavily into the ones, and that gives you a really good build turn if you're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hopefully just checking 5s, and maybe check the 1, 3 on the 3 diff. But if you just build really quickly with Sasha, build to 8 foundations on turn 2, you're just going to start building up your momentum. Like, use turn 2 as like a bit of a poke with a like an Armor of the Ape or something like that, or maybe like a readied shot, and just start building up your momentum. Yeah, it's going to be nuts. So you probably don't need all of these 1 diffs. You could probably spare some with, to make room for some better 2s, maybe a good 3. But yeah, I kind of just leaned whole hog just to show kind of what this character was about. But honestly, I'm really excited for Sasha. I think she's one of the better characters in this set. I know characters like Cart Titan and Bertolt have kind of been more of the outliers of the, hello Sam, of the power creep. But I think Sasha's going to be really fun to wrap your head around, especially if you can get those big dunks later on in an attack string. Goodbye, Sam. But that is it for Sasha. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to go get myself a snack, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.